Good morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Sunday, August 21st. On the impact map, um, another round of thunderstorms, isolated to scattered and a mix of wet and dry. Where you see the yellow. Keep in mind the only real area of dry fuels is up here in the mountains of central Idaho. But the further east you go, the wetter things are. So we'll see more wet storms there. We'll see drier air starting to push in from the west. That drier air starts punching into parts of southwest Idaho by Monday. Also, still though, another round of lightning. These storms will be a bit drier. We'll have more movement to them, so we feel there could be a bit more of a drier lightning threat, possibly Monday. And then, really, the big threat is the drier air moving in after a couple of days of lightning and large fire activity across the northern portion of the geographic area. That could lead to some problems as we get towards the middle of the week. Otherwise, we had another round of lightning across the central Idaho mountains. A lot of it came with some low end wetting rains, so not a major concern immediately, but there'll be some new starts. But we'll have a couple of days before the growth can get pretty large on those. Otherwise, much wetter as usual areas further south. New fire starts in the red, and a lot of it concentrated in those areas of lightning, in those dead, heavier fields up in the mountains of central Idaho. Precipitation, the last 7 days, we've noticed again a lot of it in the south, continuing. Just a few fringes in Nevada, but widespread, although light, just a couple of hundredths to a tenth of an inch. Similar story up in the mountains of central Idaho, although they do get progressively wetter further east. You can see the green pockets are a half inch or more once you get into eastern Idaho. So our fuels, kind of a reflection of that, the dry fuels, 6 to 10% here in that gold shade western areas and parts of Idaho, but there's also some wetter stuff mixed in. We'll need a couple of days of dry weather to really get rid of some of that recent moisture. And we're starting to get into that pattern now with high pressure building in, heat and dryness across the western Great Basin, starting to push some of that monsoonal moisture further north and eastwards. There's also another upper level disturbance off the Pacific Northwest coast that'll play a role in our weather as well. So for today, here's the upper level map. There's the dry air moving in. See this little blip through here. There'll be some isolated to locally scattered storms. Again, we do have high risk for lightning, mainly in the Salmon Chalice area. That'll be the best concentration of lightning today. We'll look at that in a second. Humidity on the right, winds not a factor on the left, but we look at precipitation. It'll be the eastern portion of the central Idaho mountains. That'll have the best chance for thunderstorms today, and just little pop-up stuff here, not a solid area like you get further south where storms will be wetter. Humidity in the upper teens to mid 20% range. So growth should not be as rapid right away, but still a worry. The lightning gets more widespread tomorrow. You can see we have high risk on the right-hand side for the most of the central Idaho mountains except the far east. You can see the green blip here of moisture and extension of moisture that's further north associated with that little trough of low pressure in the Pacific Northwest. You can see the humidity still about 18 to 24%. So there'll probably be new ignitions. It may not go large right away. We won't have much wind. You can see the precipitation a bit more widespread and further to the west across the Payette, as well as other forests further east. Continued wet storms further south across Utah. Now, on Tuesday, we see that drier air mass starting to nudge in more and more into Idaho. So that's when we can really see holdovers. You see our 7-day fire potential is brown on the map there. Humidity starts to dry out just a little bit. We'll get some breezes coming in out of the southwest, not strong, 5 to 15 miles per hour, but this is when holdovers could really start taking hold. These are 3-day precipitation totals. And further on Wednesday, low pressure slowly moving across northern Washington state. Some monsoonal moisture being pulled up into parts of Idaho and eastern Nevada, and still here across parts of Idaho, but mainly further eastwards. And then as we go into Thursday, that trough of low pressure passes through. Still monsoonal moisture continues across our southern areas, but then it's drier air coming in. You see more westerlies, these yellow height lines indicating drier air, westerly flow, more stable air. But again, this drier air will be what could really get the holdovers going towards the middle and latter part of the week. And by the weekend, Saturday, light to moderate breezes, probably 15 to 25 miles per hour coming on some of those days across those Idaho areas. And further north, you see that band of moisture and a tighter band of 500 millibar heights, those yellow lines. That's kind of the western storm track, the wintertime storm track, starting to move out of Alaska and into central and southern Canada. Those are season-ending events you see up there across British Columbia, Alberta, and lined up. And that's normally what happens as we go through September. We'll see how that plays up. You can see where our most critical areas are. So our north and western areas once again. 7-day precipitation totals and the 8 to 14-day outlook continues to show above normal temperatures, but notice on the precipitation side, the monsoonal activity being suppressed mostly to the south, although it could curve back up across the Sierra. It's this drier than normal pattern as we go into the end of August and early September that could keep fueling large fire activity across Idaho. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.